Good evening and good morrow, and welcome to the brand new episode of our Elf series. This is the Neon Elf.
Yeah.
And Shift designed basically this whole thing because he loves these kind of themes, so he'll take it away and I'll just sit here and admire him.
Okay, so basically, I have my own species. There's Shifts, like Shift is me, yeah, hi. And I'm part of this race, and it is called the Simoids. And the Simoids live in these giant circle things underneath the water. That's like their house, their furniture, whatever. And they're inspired by the cage mushrooms. And I've always loved the cage mushrooms, and I actually made a background for Valectro's picture that had just the one design of Shift in it and a prototype of the race of Simoids. And what I did was I did the whole entire background, and then I made more shifts because everybody needs more shift. And what is it called? Yeah, I did these little floating mushroom things on like white, like tendrily things coming out of the ocean bed. And I really wanted to inspire like horns that were coming out of the face, like almost like veins. I was really like, I want it to be like fungus grows off things, but then veins and stuff, like, you know, they're from the heart or whatever. So I wanted to do that, like growing out of the skin and hardening. And also I found like a sea anemone or something that looked like it as well. So I wanted to do that for that. And also Shift's race doesn't have a nose because I have a massive nose and I have really bad allergies. So I figure, get rid of that. Underwater. No nose, perfect.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do those cliche massive ears. I got the idea from a recent picture I think we did where we did Vaporeon with different ears, like a redesign of Vaporeon. If it was a specifically ocean instead of freshwater, because I believe Vaporeon is freshwater. Now, the hair isn't actually hair. I wanted to take a note from the plant one we did, and the plant one is actually vines. So instead of doing like actual vines for his hair, I wanted to do like tentacles, not like octopus tentacles, but like jellyfish tentacles. So they're supposed to have like this iridescent look to them and stuff. And the color schemes is a color scheme mixture of my favorite colors from my characters and Valectro's favorite colors. So it's pink and it's blue, and Shift's skin color is blue because, you know, that's the most alien skin color I could think of. And he's got pink and purple eyes because why not? Yeah.
And I feel like blue as well, right, has so many different variants compared to every other color that it's just really nice to shade with as well. So it's a really good choice for a skin tone because you can do so much with it.
Well, I actually selected the skin tone by actually going to a real skin tone and just the slider color thing. I just moved it around all the way to blue, and I knew that it would shade well because there's a skin tone that shades well. If you actually grab this and then change it to a pinky orange, then it will be exactly the perfect, like up-down, perfect shadable shading.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the neck thing is because sea dragons. Dragons have those thingamajiggies where they have the soft part underneath the bottom, and I'm just like, has to be a sea dragon, has to happen. And then I don't really know what I was thinking with the shoulder blade thingamajiggies. I just said go to Shift's picture and then basically just copy paste but make it look a little different.
Yeah, and that's basically what I did. Like Shift's Simoid race, they have like a really cool organic-y flow to their skin tone, so it's not all one skin tone. It's like segmented and it's like a carapace basically.
Oh, I think it was like these thingamajiggies.
Collarbone?
Yeah, like I was like, can you make like those things like raised and like spiky almost, like that fish that is like a lion?
The lionfish?
Yeah. And I'm like, it's kind of like got these fins. Yes, that's the ears. That's where I got the inspiration for Vaporeon's ears, is that there's the lionfish. And the only reason I know about the lionfish is because one of the Monster High dolls, their mermaid version, is actually like a lionfish, and it's a cat.
Yes. Oh, I forgot her name.
It's probably Catra or Catdoll.
Or Katrina.
Yeah, it's something cat something. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So, as well as originally, right, this character was going to be the Ocean Elf, and then I came across the drawing the Neon Elf, but then the Neon Elf kind of looked more like the Ocean Elf as well, and then you kind of like colored the Ocean Elf, and then the Ocean Elf then looked more neon in its color scheme, so then we kind of like swapped it, so now the Neon Elf is the Ocean Elf, and the Ocean Elf is now the Neon Elf.
Yes, because technically I colored this one, and then you liked the color scheme so much, and then we did like 50 other color schemes. Like, if you were to actually go through our tabs of Photoshop thing, there would be 100 different colors, because we literally tried different color schemes, then we inverted them, then we did the color scale thing, and we just kept on changing and changing and changing, and we found like 5 different color schemes that we liked, and those are actually on other characters in the future. But we did change this one to be the Ocean Elf by choosing an actual color.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we made it like a goldfish color or something.
Yeah.
And then I saved that, but I didn't save it over the top of. So there's 2 files, and because there was 2 files, you forgot a couple of weeks later, and you just started shading the wrong one. And I was just like, oh my god, no, you're supposed to go for the goldfish one. And you're like, too late now, I'm not doing it again. And I'm just like, okay, they have to switch.
Yeah.
The other one is now a goldfish.
Yeah, but I really like these colors, and I really love how it turns out with the glows and stuff, if you guys can see right now on screen. But oh my god, it worked really well as a Neon Elf, and I'm glad we changed it to the Neon Elf, because it just looks so cool and creepy. And then like, yeah, like the face horns, the mushroom cage horns that we did, for shading that, I was like really like worried. I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? But I had the horn colors colored on a different layer, so I basically just shaded the skin like normal, and then just chucked the layer of the horns on top of it, so that way the horns didn't get affected at all. And then it already looked really creepy and freakishly like 3D. And then I did like a bevel and emboss on it, just to give it a little bit more 3D-ness to it without doing too much, because I was like too afraid of like stuffing the whole thing up. And it looked so cool, and I'm like, oh my god, it actually looks like it's coming out of your skin. It is so creepy. I love it so much. It reminds me of like Carnage or Venom, you know how they do that weird effect onto people's faces.
I was also hoping for the effect of Rogue from the movie. Whenever she absorbs someone's powers, they get those little like lines in them where it's like sucking out their powers through their skin, and then she gets them on her face, like at the end where Wolverine's like grabbing hold of her face like, come back alive, Marie, come on. And then she's like got all this stuff, and she's like yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically it, and it's my favorite part. I really loved how that turned out. That was my most dreaded part from the very beginning. That's like why I put it off for a while. I'm like, I really don't know how to shade this. I don't know how to go about it without it looking like really weird and gross looking.
I don't know how to say this without like offending you, but I like making you feel uncomfortable with drawing.
Thank you.
Because I feel like the more uncomfortable you feel, the better it turns out, and the more it pushes you as an artist.
Yeah.
Says me making humans right now, looking at your picture going, I wish I was drawing that. But I'm like, the more fantasy, like I look at your pictures and I'm just like, you could be drawing humans realistically. But if I give you these really out there ideas and all this stuff, then I get to see, like, live vicariously through you and see the pictures I really want to see, and then be like, I know who my favorite Instagrammer is.
Yeah, like for me, this kind of stuff is like really weird, and I'm like, it's not my style. But now after drawing it and shading it and everything like that, I'm like, it's my favorite.
I can't go back to humans anymore. If I draw a human ear, I swear I couldn't even release it.
It really is like that now. Like when I draw like a normal face to start off with, I'm like, okay, now I have to give it big ears, I have to do this, I have to give it horns. So like, what alienish aspects can I give to this? So then they're like more interesting, because now drawing a normal human is boring. And I'm like, like, God damn it, I really like drawing you.
Well, I was actually thinking about that, making it our thing.
No.
Like, our thing is drawing long hair. But what if we draw, our thing is now that no matter what, we always draw a character that has fantasy ears, horns, and some weird fantasy aspect to them, and just keep on doing that.
Well, that's the idea. That's like the whole thing with the Elf series is that these are just the face designs basically, but then with other pictures, it's like I'm going to bring these over to the new pictures, and then it kind of intertwines everything together. Well guys, that is today's video. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below, and don't forget to
Like and subscribe!
yes, and so you keep updated with all of our shenanigans, also click that bell button, and we'll see you next time. Bye meow meow!